Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Pookie here. Right, I know you've noticed lately I've put a couple of drone videos up, not so much coding videos. I've just been having a little bit of a break, to be honest. Been getting myself, into new things. I do want to explore my channel a little bit more and expand it more than Coda. So I thought I'd just get myself a drone and do a couple of, sorry, not a drone, a quadcopter. Just do a couple of videos and a couple of flights. Now with this one I've actually modded. The remote on this is it's had a 5 decibel antenna soldered to it, so it's had the old antenna taken off and then a new one soldered on, because basically the quadcopter that I have, it's only a Syma quadcopter, and they're relatively cheap. I mean, this one cost me about 100 quid. It is the X8G and it comes with a HD camera, which is pretty good. As you can see from the quality of this, is pretty good. But one of the main things that I liked about this particular flight is down the road there is a guy called Ashley who I recently met, and he has a Phantom. I think it's a Phantom 3, and it is bad boy. And I was just flying, and as you can see him there flying over, I don't know if you can see him in the distance, get ready, right there. He comes bombing it over in his Phantom, and I'm talking bombing it over, and before even I had a chance to realise what anything was, I was like, yo, where's this gone? Obviously I can't move my camera up and down like he can. He'll have his camera on a gimbal so he can see me constantly. I'm having to look up and around and just try different orientations to basically try and see him in the sky. But now there's a couple of things I'd like to say about the Phantom opposed to a cheap quadcopter like the one I've got. A cheap quadcopter like the one I've got is basically, if you can fly this, you can fly anything. So best always start off cheap, and then you can be able to fly a decent one, because it's always best to learn. If you can fly anything that's really hard to fly, you know that when you come to flying something a little bit more expensive like a Phantom, you're not going to have as many problems with. And to be honest, I actually went over to this guy called Ashley, spoke to him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I had one of them toy ones, but it flew away when I flew it. I'm like, well, yeah. They're not designed to go, miles high unless you've done any kind of modification to it. So he just said, oh yeah, it flew away, so I just went and bought a decent one. And so I suppose he thinks he can fly, but flying something that's got altitude hold and a GPS lock, especially 2 GPS systems on it, it's pretty much a child can fly it. Now don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that I don't like them. I just prefer to have a little bit of free flight, fully manual, But I don't think I'd do that if I did have a Phantom. I think if I had a Phantom, I'd probably be a little bit more conservative about it. But I decided to walk over to go and see him anyway, just so we can go and see the Phantom. And as you can see there, it is a beast. 4K camera, gimbal, it's got everything. And I couldn't believe how smooth it actually was. And to be honest, he actually turned around to me at one point there and he asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, no, you're alright mate, I don't really fancy flying around a couple of £100 worth of someone else's money through the sky. But I mean, I will get myself one in time. It's one of them where that's close. Just got to get a few quid together, get doing some more work, saving up, because I am terrible at saving up, and I am shocking. But I've been looking at the Volcara, I think it's the 350Q CQ Pro. I'll put the link up and a picture of it on the description. Now it is rated, it is basically one of the cheapest GPS quadcopters that you can get. They also do another one. There's another one called a Cheerson CX20 that has less flight time and not as reliable, but it's a little bit cheaper. But if you go for the Volcara, then you get a 25-minute flight time with that. But I do tell everybody to make sure that if you do fly something like that, make sure you've got all your satellites, good strong signals, because the last thing you want to do is be taking it too high or too far and it be flying away on you. Now I did read a couple of the reviews about, the quadcopter, the GPS function in it not being the most cleverest, but I think they've upgraded that and they've sorted that bug out, because they brought out 2 versions. So I think for the Volcara you're going to be looking at around 200 to 250. maybe even a little bit poor depending on the transmitter that you go for, because the different transmitters, the Devo 7s, Devo 10s, Devo 12s, now depending on obviously what setup you go for. Now this comes, the £250 one doesn't actually come with a gimbal, it just comes with the quadcopter and the transmitter. But for an extra few quid, you know, I'm sure you can knock together a little gimbal for yourselves and a little mount, or I mean, I know they sell gimbals pretty cheap now on eBay. But I hope you like this video, guys, and if you did like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And as always, guys, peace out.